Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Ambarish Mitra, co-founder and CEO of Blippar. It's my 6th year in a row speaking at Web Summit, so there's always a pretty high expectation that what should I show you guys? It needs to be relevant and cool. But nevertheless, I'm in one of the coolest industries, augmented reality, where there's so much happening, at least for the last 2-3 years. So hopefully won't disappoint you. Before we get going, I'd like to explain to you how the industry is shaping up and why it's very relevant. And right at the end of it, I'd like to show you 4 super sort of killer demos. They're live, so don't want to make promises. May work, may not work. So we've been around for 7 years. Blippar, British company, operating out of Silicon Valley, New York, and London. Our mission was to create this ubiquitous AR platform which works on any camera device and brings the world to life. It's been incredible last 2 years with several large players coming into AR. It's really validated the space. You know, you cannot imagine how difficult it was to speak about augmented reality 5-6 years ago. The first 20 minutes was to spell it out and explain the reasons. So just in case anybody in the room doesn't know what augmented reality is technically, when you see the world with your eyes and through the eyes of a camera, and something is recognized through the camera and you see some content appear in the field of view, that is augmented reality. It is enhancement of reality. Do not confuse it with virtual reality. Virtual reality is almost nothing to do with your immediate reality. It's almost like escaping from reality. Moving ahead, it's important to notice why this industry is really relevant. You know, computers itself are continuously evolving. You know, you can see in the very early days, it was all about the touchpad and the keyboard, and it wasn't a very natural behavior. Then the whole AI wave came along. And remember, what's the role of AI? It's besides artificial intelligence, I always call it as IA, which is intelligent assistance. It's here to serve us. You know, we are not here to serve the AI. So touch, which is a very human function, touch computing came into play. Then since 2010, we saw the first birth of natural language processing. We humans talk. We want the computers to talk back at us. And the final frontier, which is vision. Vision is very important because vision is large part what makes us human. A lot of our cognition growing up comes from this sense, which we call eyesight. And computers will one day, and beginning to already, will see and understand the world. So computer vision is very relevant. We're already starting to see how computers are beginning to understand. It's a very important branch of artificial intelligence. And in a way, augmented reality and AI has been positioned as very separate industries, but they're very deeply linked. Augmented reality cannot scale till computers understand reality. You know, it's not just about gimmicky dinosaurs walking down a path. At one point, we will see almost the internet transform into an AR medium where everything you look in the field of view could come to life. And it's very relevant. You know, you may not realize that even though history of internet has been very words driven, where you type some words and you get a response, but there are so many things in your everyday life which you cannot describe with words. So the next generation of computing is massively going to be vision based. Also, AR, VR industry are often compared through various sources, but AR is promised to be a very lucrative industry because it is connected to the world we see, and also a lot more possibility with devices. Each one of you already in this room is holding some form of an AR device because you have a camera on your phone. Of course, with VR, which is incredible, equally promising industry, but still has a slightly niche utility because of how it moves you away from scaling or moving around the wider world. This is the famous Gartner hype cycle, which has been applied to augmented reality as well. And we started Blippar literally when it was in the very, very early stages, innovation trigger. And we've actually been through the whole peak of inflected expectations. We've raised a bunch of money, and now it's reaching a point where AR is under scrutiny that is it going to deliver its true potential. But the timing is great. 5 of the world's biggest companies, not just in tech, but the most valuable companies, have invested in augmented reality. And we are predicting that from 5 to 7 years down the line, it is really, really ready to be comparable as ubiquitous as the internet is today. Some of the large players, as you can see, Facebook has launched an ad-based platform on AR. Snapchat, many of you are aware of. The famous face filters. And of course, now Google with AR Core and Apple with AR Kit are supporting the medium and making their phones compatible with it. So we believe AR is already having a positive impact, and there's some excellent case studies. So let me take you through some of them here. Here, retailers are already experimenting with augmented reality. This is the Uniqlo brand, where in Japan and few other places, the concept's called magic mirrors. I don't know anybody in the audience have tried them, where you can very accurately virtually try on clothing and see the impact. Also, Ray-Ban is trying virtual glasses, where you can try glasses on your face and see how it looks and make some key decision making. And something slightly more gimmicky, but of course in a toy store or in a retailer, people are able to see 3-dimensional dragons flying in the room. Very early stages of the experiment with AR. This is also showcasing how offline and the online world can truly blend. This is in a retail environment where the mannequin you see in the field of view is real. Everything around it, rating, reviews of the product, recommended products that'll go with it. Is the product sustainable? Where it is sourced from? What is the social media saying about it? What are the experts talking about it? All these things you can see. And this is almost like the future of shopping. And of course, today we are living in a world where sustainability is playing a very important role. People want to know about everything, where it's coming from, how it is sourced. Augmented reality can play a big role there. This is almost also in future. This is not exactly happening. This is one of our earlier prototypes where we will see digital bidding on physical objects. So far, majority of the ad platforms we see from the well-known search engines or the social networks, you can bid on keywords, but we will see a world where people would be able to bid on physical things. When you're looking at that content, who else can own it? That's another example of, again, shopping experience, where not only you can look at an outfit, but get to know whether your friends have tried it or if there are any vouchers associated with it. This is another example, one of the stuff we did in the insurance space in US, where this technology is embedded in the app of the insurance provider, and we could recognize every unique car, make, and model. And without having to fill up a form, you can get a quote and all the necessary details about just the car in your field of view. Also, the next frontier would be not just bidding on physical objects, but also physical locations. The famous game Pokemon Go was literally the first almost trailer of the possibilities. Imagine if the physical world is really properly learned with advanced AI and computer vision, a huge amount of activities could be placed. Enterprise is one area where I believe the biggest traction of AR is right now, even with the head-mounted devices, because not many people have the physical devices. So already huge amount of training, tour guide, or basically showing you how to use an engineering product in factories like Boeing or General Electric, where people are able to learn things straight by wearing glasses or phones. And this is an example where virtually engineers are being trained how to put in a circuit board or how to create a proper server infrastructure with Cisco. And you can see the data says this improved the installation efficiency by 30%. What we do not want to see is something like this. And I can assure you that, I mean, I cannot guarantee it, but this will be a very uncomfortable world. And one of the things which majority of people in the industry are working on, that all these things should be slightly pull-based. This is an example where you are wearing glasses and everything's becoming push-based. But ideally, if you're engaging with AR, you want to have the right or control what you want to see. You don't want the whole world become an advertising medium. Technology totally makes it possible what you just saw there. But we have to consciously make an effort that we don't ruin our world that way. So now I'm going to slowly move into a demo mode. First of all, I wanted to show you guys a live Magic Leap demo. It's the most talked about device in the world right now. And many of you may not know that there is no live broadcast in Magic Leap devices because they don't support it yet. So what I did last evening, we came on the stage, we recorded a session on the same stage so that we get to lip sync, almost show you what it would look like. So if you haven't seen one of these devices, this is what it looks like. They just came out a month ago. This is the power pack, which is almost the computing, which supports this and gives the battery power. This is the Magic Controller, which almost like a lightsaber in Star Wars allows you to control stuff. And everything gets projected here. So I'm going to play the recording from last evening. And basically, the front of this stage, this is an experiment Blippar did with the Magic Leap SDK. The front of the stage, almost overlapping into the audience, would become a three-dimensional retail store. So as you can see, the date was November 5th. It's a US time, 8:42, but it was yesterday afternoon. And this is how it would look like. Right now, as you can see, where you are sitting right now is empty. No one was there, naturally. And I'm about to click on the Blippar store demo. And that's the navigation structure. So immediately, the whole stage, and you can see the orange lightsaber, becomes a retail environment. In reality, the graphics are a lot more richer. But when you're doing a video recording, it's not really rendering in high resolution. But if you want to try it for yourself, the difference is 1:20. What you see here is way higher resolution. So now if I engage with that red back, you'll notice in a second, I can hold it and bring it on my face. I can turn it around, see all the graphics of it, without having to be in a retail store, engage with it, and put the product back. So you can see, you could take any arbitrary position and superimpose a virtual world without having to create obstruction in your real world. So that was semi-demo. Hopefully Magic Leap will support live demo, and next year we'll be able to show something more cool. Now let's go to the real live demos. I have a bunch of 3-4 really cool stuff to show you. Just checking if mic's still working. Yeah, thank you. So before I start, I have my dear friend Uros here, who's going to come out and give you guys this drawing of a moth, which we'll play with towards the end. So random 10 people, if you can color it up really nice, because it'll go on the stage. So please do a good coloring. It's a coloring experiment. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead with the other demos. All right. Hello, hello. You guys can hear me, right? Okay. Could I connect my phone to the big screen, please? Excellent. So just need to see how long do I have. Okay, 7 minutes. Cool. So now this is a demo of a very advanced SLAM technology, which has proximity sensors where the content changes based on where we are. And this is a scene in the future where I'm in Mars, you are on Earth, and we are rebuilding a life in Mars. Okay? Have patience. It's just initializing, and we do need an arbitrary starting point, so we have kept an image over here. So now I'm doing a quick, really quick health test, like a DNA test on my wrist, and it suggests that I have some sort of a flu in Mars, and there is a drone that is flying from there, emergency, delivering a piece of medicine over here. While these smart people, they have in their heads imagined a bicycle so that they don't reinvent the wheel. We have invented the bicycle on planet Earth already. So there's this automated robot which is creating this bicycle right on the stage over here. What I'm trying to see here, that this whole stage got taken over this content which looks really realistic. These are the two gentlemen who came up with the idea of this robot, and it's over here. We are also rebuilding a whole township in Mars. So you can see some aspects of greenery, you know. There are buildings here as well. You know, there is a whole strange-looking runway with spaceships flying all around continuously. Guess where they are flying to? They're flying to you, to planet Earth, where you guys are, right there, you can see. And there's a continuous traffic between Earth and Mars. And the whole point of doing this demo was to show you that how an arbitrary position on the stage could be taken over. And also, I had to go to the city for the city to grow. I had to go to the bike for the robot to start moving. There was nothing on the stage. It was computer vision-based proximity. So that was demo number 1. Now let me show you demo number 2. So the demo number 2 is a future of fitness scanning. So so you guys see over there on the stage, a big holographic area has been created, which I'll literally walk into. And it's body scanning me now, just to find out how my health is doing. You can see the whole scanner. And as you know that none of this exists, right? So this is all virtual. So it's connected to my watch. You can also see how beautifully the watch got rendered. You can see like every detail of it. And that's some diagnostics of my health. like overall, how are my bones doing? This whole environment now is connected to my watch and giving me detailed analysis right on the stage. Over here, it is even suggesting exercises or the right kind of shoe. I can walk into it. I can even check out underneath, like absolute little detail, or I can go away and look from far. Also showing some aspects of blockchain technology, tracking back all level of health analysis, and finally, the state of my mind. Wanting to show you this thing like really exists here. And none of this graphics is gimmicky. If you go even inside it, you'll see the level of detail that can be rendered, or you move out. And when I walk out of it, I'm literally out of it. That zone still exists over there. And it'll only scan when the next person goes in. So that was demo number 2. And then demo number 3. We would be creating a store here. The reason we need some of these images because otherwise I won't have an arbitrary starting point. So now you can see there is a whole store. I don't want to fall off the stage. There's a whole store that got created on the top of the stage. And I can literally walk into it and see details of it, to the moment where I can even see the texture of the clothing materials. Also, I wanted to show you these proximity sensors. Again, the details on the clothing started to appear when I went near the T-shirt. Also, video details about the designer, talking about the details of the store, as if this store really existed. This is incredible for showrooming or planning retail. When a large store is thinking of store layout, really it brings a lot of scalability. And all the laws of physics and optics apply here. Like if I look over the screen, you can see it's you guys. So this, as if this thing really exists here, including the texture of the wood, the lighting. The lighting is responding to the lighting here, taking the light from the front camera. So incredible advancements in computer visioning happening to make augmented reality as real to reality. So those, the last demo, those who volunteered to sketch the moth. So this was a blank piece of paper, which we gave to many of you in the audience. If you'll see what I'll do, you can try it for yourself at home. The kids would love it. If you point the Blippar app on top of, let's do it again, on top of this moth, which, who created it? What's your name? Belin? Okay, let's say I type your name. Sorry. Oh. And submit. You'll see it's a physical piece of paper. The creativity was yours. But we're going to set it free in this room. And not only is your piece of art flying in this room, but the last 10 people, whatever they created, theirs is too. So you can like touch on any of those moths and see who it was by, like D-names, whoever created that. These are just showing creative possibilities with this medium, which holds tremendous promise. That's all for my talk. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed it today. Thank you.